Welcome to Zoom. We are here because of the pandemic. See, we do Zoom and that way our guests are someplace else, so we can't breathe on them. But let me talk about our guests today. You will meet them in a little while. Jay and Laura Laffoon, French. Just found out that name is French. I love France. I was there. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Met on a blind date in 1984, which is 37 years ago. Wow. And they have been a couple ever since. They've been a couple. They've never gotten married. I'm just reading this right here. Together, they're married. They're married. Okay. Together, they founded Celebrate Ministries, which offers encouragement and guidance to couples and stresses the importance of connection, laughter, intimacy, and spiritual growth in relationships. Wow. They previously served as staff at Youth for Christ, and recently they served on staff at Mount Pleasant Community Church. Sounds like a great church. Coordinating their marriage and family care ministries. I want to welcome Jay and Laura. Hi.
How you doing?
Hi there.
It's great to be here.
They're in Michigan. When they got up this morning, 12 degrees.
Well, blessed degrees.
I know. I was right after college, my wife and I, which I said I would never do this. We moved to Buffalo, New York.
Oh.
Every time I say Buffalo, New York, oh, let me tell you, Michigan's got some pretty bad weather too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we spent let's see, 18 years, I think, 13, something like that, in Buffalo, New York. Our kids were born and raised for a while there, and but I know cold country.
Yep, cold and snow.
Yes, that's right. I spent my early days crunching, that snowy feel under your feet, that crunchy sound. So you folks are exclusively in the marriage encouragement business, right?
That is right. We founded our ministry in 1996 and have been doing marriage ministry ever since.
But and I might add there's the book. It is really it's a beautiful book. I mean, this is the kind you would lay on your coffee table and people would pick it up and go, wow, where did you get this? And I mean, it is well done, but it is weird.
Unique. We prefer unique.
Okay. All right. My word is weird. Unique is the one I should use. But I'm telling you can open any place in here and laugh.
That's the whole point. It's to have a good time on a date.
Who came up with, I mean, when I see books like this, I go, now I can't imagine you have a pad or maybe your computer or whatever, and you're sitting down there and you're going, okay, what about this? What about this? What about that? I mean, who comes up with this stuff?
Well, what happened is we tour a program called The Ultimate Date Night, and we travel the country doing 90 minutes of music, comedy, and fun for couples. We go to churches and do that. And prior to the pandemic, we were doing 60, 70 shows a year. And as part of a VIP package, folks could come in early and do a question and answer with us. Well, one of the things we would do to get the ball rolling is to say, what do you guys do on a date? And we kept getting dinner and a movie, dinner and a movie, dinner and a movie. It's just, same thing.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, what if we could provide some creative, fun, innovative dates for couples? And we've been working with Broad Street Publishing. They like to do.
Where are they out of?
They're out of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yep.
Minnesota.
Speaking of cold.
Yes, yes. We had previously done a devotional with them called Celebrate Your Marriage, 365 Daily Devotions for Busy Couples. And they said, pitch us another, that sold really well. Pitch us another book. And so we thought, why don't we do this? And so we sat down and we just looked at some of the dates we've gone on because we're creative people, and wrote some of them down, and then started asking friends, what are some of the creative things you guys have done on dates? And we just compiled, it's funny, we compiled 52, exactly 52. It's amazing.
It is literally different. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not like, okay, they copied from this one or whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's what is unique. I was like, how did they come up with this stuff? I mean, is your mind that weird?
Apparently,
we're that
we
twisted.
did. We each took a computer and we made our list of dates, and then we said, okay, you write yours, I'll write mine. And we just, that is the way it worked. And it's really I think it's a fun book because we kind of take the thinking out of it for couples, just open it up and do this one. And we give you a code in there, a key code, whether it's going to cost a lot of money or not a lot of money, if it's going to take a lot of effort, not a lot of effort, create romance or not going to create romance. And so we've given you, here's what we would do. We've also given you a story out of our life that kind of goes with that date. And
every date has a theme,
Yeah.
theme that's important to marriage, whether it's, we're going to talk a little bit about money management, or we're going to recapture our friendship at this date,
or we're going to dream about the future,
setting goals.
I can just see people, after this interview, they're ordering this book, and the husband goes, "Oh no, you're gonna try one? Are you really?" And that's what's going to be fun. Is there going to be trying it to find out if you guys know what you're talking about? This one about Laura. She says, "I am a math Gnostic."
Yes, true story.
And this was like Jay had to figure out all the money you were spending on the credit card when you were ready to take a vacation, and you had to break the news to him. We don't have any money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Laura doesn't believe that math exists. She's a math Gnostic. So she's early in our marriage, she was very good at spending money. Now she's very good at saving money because she's understood the power of cash.
Yes.
So
math drives me. I don't like numbers at all.
And Jay is he a saver?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Have been since I was, a little kid. Yep.
I prefer penny pincher, but saver is a nicer word.
Yeah, right. Now, I've got a lot of notes here, just so you know. The book is really funny. Once a week, we will give you a detailed description of what kind of date you should go on, plus scripture verses, journal notes, a place to record each date, highlights, and a prayer to close your time together. So you got it. I mean, you set it up, and then you go into, tell us who would need this kind of book. I mean, is it people that just live a boring life and they need some jumper cables to start?
I would say that this book is going to meet people at whatever point of need they have. If you're in a good marriage, more than likely it's because you do date. One of the most important things to do is to date your spouse. This is going to give you some creative dates. If you're walking through a rough patch, this is a great way to say, let's recapture the romance. Let's remember.
Do something fun.
Let's remember why we got married. And I can tell you who it's mostly for. Those people who say, my marriage is fine. It's fine. That grates like
fingernails on a chalkboard.
Because
Jay goes immediately, you need to read this, right?
Exactly. Fine is macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Okay? And I like macaroni and cheese, but I don't want to eat that every day. I want to go and experience something more than just fine. I want to experience something fun, something maybe a little adventurous. Maybe a little out of.
Now, what would be adventurous?
Well, what are the dates we have there?
One of my favorites that we came up with, actually, we heard about it. Another couple told us that this is what they do. And I was just like, that sounds like a lot of fun. They just get in their car. They don't use their GPS or anything on their phones.
They shut their phones off, everything.
They just get in their car and they start driving and they see where they end up.
I like
then
that.
They've driven for a while, they'll then turn on their GPS so they can figure out how to get back home. But they just, and if they see something, like a roadside restaurant or something, they'll just stop and eat, or they'll go into an antique shop or whatever. And I just thought we kind of have done that a little bit this spring since the pandemic and we're home. I'm a hobby photographer, and we'll just get in the car and I'll take my camera and we'll just drive. And if I see, oh, that looks like a good photo over there, I want to stop and take a picture. And so it is really kind of,
I think the name of that date was called Get Lost. And basically, yeah, just drive till you get lost and then turn on your GPS and, you'll find your way home.
and see what you see.
Yeah.
You've got, let's go on a treasure hunt. So you go on treasure hunt and you say, go fly a kite. Really?
That's Jay's favorite.
That's my favorite. I mean, you remember when you were a little kid and you flew a kite, how fun it was?
Yeah.
Well, go to Walmart, go to your whatever store and buy a $5 kite and remember what it was like to be, 8 years old again, because that joy is something that really will attract you to your spouse.
A day at the beach.
That's my favorite. I love to just,
What do you got, 2 days in Michigan?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Now we do this when we head to Florida in the middle of winter here, and we just get our beach chairs and our umbrella. We just sit on the beach with a book, a picnic, and I like to people watch, and that's really kind of fun on those beaches in Florida to people watch.
Yes.
But also listen to the ocean and just, it sparks a lot of creativity. It sparks a lot of discussion between us just about everyday life.
And you got one snuggle up. I mean, what's that like?
Well, we have a fireplace here. Actually, our fireplace is a fake fire. It's not real, so it doesn't smell fireplacey in here. But we like to turn on the fire and
maybe a little
snuggle up,
music
talk, and maybe have a little picnic. Put a picnic rug down on the floor in front of the fire. And
one of our favorites from the book is actually given to us by some friends. They have 5 children under the age of 12. And so, yeah, what they do is they call it a driveway date. And in the summertime here in Michigan, they'll put their kids to bed and they'll go out and take a couple of lawn chairs and put them in the truck bed of his pickup truck. And they'll just look at the stars, have an iced tea and just, talk and enjoy each other's company. And so, these dates don't have to be, exotic and very complicated. They can just be a simple thing to do that will strengthen your marriage.
What you've discovered is things that we actually don't even think about.
mm-hmm.
Because most of the times you say, hey, look, we've covered everything.
Right.
So what's left? And then you get this crazy bug. And then you go, whoa, somebody actually would do that?
Right.
So you have people that have given you input, right?
Well, no, we stole their stuff basically.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to give them credit, right?
The royalties would be very complicated.
Yeah. So
People.
what is the response?
It's been very good. In fact, Choice Books just picked this up. Choice Books, if you're not familiar, they're in a lot of drugstores and pharmacies and kiosks at airports and things like that. They've picked us up, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. The response has been wonderful.
That is amazing. But it's an attention getter,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's you read the title and you go, what possibly could that be? And you start looking through it, and it jumps out. And then you go, okay,
right?
And you walk to the counter and go, I'm going to take this.
That's right.
Yeah,
we have had several emails from people who have bought the book and said, oh, this was a really fun date. Just wanted to let you know that was a good idea. So that has been people who have actually bought the book and actually done the dates, some of the dates. I don't think anybody's done any of them all yet because it just was released in December, but
Jay, you first. Tell me when you were born again.
1961.
What happened?
That was when you were born.
Oh. When you were born again. Well,
again.
I
thank you, Laura. I'm glad I got you there. Otherwise, he could have gone off on a whole new trail.
It was on a whole different way.
My mother said that I prayed to receive Jesus into my heart when I was 3, but I would.
Did you know it?
No, I mean I knew it to the extent of a 3-year-old. But I would say I gave my life to the Lord and really dedicated my life to following him when I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
It was a spring break, and I was on a youth trip, and really was convicted. The lifestyle I was leading at the time was far from the Lord, and the Lord just convicted me. And I was challenged to not only give my life to the Lord, but to go into full-time ministry.
Really?
Yep.
You mean at that time or later?
At that time.
Wow.
Yep. And I was 17. That summer, I started touring with a Christian rock and roll band that did.
So you're a musician or singer?
I sing. Yeah. I play the radio really well, but I don't play many instruments very well at all.
So what is it, like a Christian rock group?
Yeah. Yep. And we'd go do high school assemblies where we would do cover tunes of pop music, and then we would invite them back at night and do Christian music and do an evangelistic presentation.
Wow.
So that was my first experience, and then had a lot of experiences with youth ministry. And then when we got really tired of working with youth, started working with marriages.
You said you were with Youth for Christ. Were both of you with Youth for Christ?
Yep.
Yes, for a period of time.
Where was the headquarters at that time?
Wheaton.
Denver.
No, it changed to Denver. When we started, it was Wheaton.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wheaton is the one I remember. When in my teen years, which is a long time ago, folks, I used to go to Orchestra Hall in Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
And they would have
Rallies.
Jack Wurtson.
Yep.
In fact, Billy Graham was with Youth for Christ in Carroll Streams, Illinois.
Yep.
He was the head guy with George Beverly Shea.
Yep. Billy Graham was the very first employee of Youth for Christ.
Right.
Yep.
And I went to Wheaton Academy in Wheaton, Illinois. So that's where I grew up after Kentucky, Chicago. But so Youth for Christ really got my attention too.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, Jay grew up in a Youth for Christ family. His dad was in Youth for Christ and went to the rallies as a teenager.
Wow.
And then was in Youth for Christ.
It was actually a Youth for Christ trip where I gave my heart to the Lord.
My goodness.
Yep.
Okay, Laura, your turn. When were you born again? Not born.
I was a freshman in high school, and it was at a summer youth week-long camp in Jekyll Island, Georgia. And
Jekyll Island.
Ron Hutchcraft, another Youth for Christ person in New York. He was the speaker at the conference, and that's where I remember first. I grew up in the church, but that's where I first remember giving my heart to the Lord and saying, this is the person that I'm going to follow. And
wow.
I wasn't called into ministry at that time, but I knew because of the way I'd grown up in a really good youth group that's what I wanted to do, was youth ministry. And when I went away, I actually spent 2 years in Montreat, North Carolina, where Billy Graham lived.
Oh yeah.
And then transferred to Belhaven University in Jackson, Mississippi. And that's where I really was like, I'm going to go into youth ministry, and actually met a Youth for Christ staff person in Jackson and thought that's what I would do. When I graduated, I would go on staff there in Jackson, Mississippi, but my dad passed away. So I went home to be with my mom, and that's where I met Jay. So he grew up in Youth for Christ. I'd heard about Youth for Christ, wanted to go into Youth for Christ. And then when I met him, I was like, well, that must be a sign.
So what did you think when you saw him?
He was really cute. We met on.
I was. Did you get that? I was really cute.
Yeah, that's what my wife says too. Yeah. Can I show you a picture of what he looked like when I saw him?
Yeah, he had lots of curly hair, and when he still has curly hair.
Lots of curly hair.
Have you got a picture you can show? Okay, I want to believe this.
We've hid them somewhere, I guess. But yes, we actually were set up on a blind date by mutual friends, and he showed up at my door in a purple polo shirt and Madras plaid shorts that were predominantly purple, and that just spoke to my Southern Belle heart that he was wearing purple and plaid, and I was like, I like him. He's cute.
Jay, did you even know how you were dressed?
Yes, I grew up in northern Michigan at kind of a resort area, and so preppy was king. So I dressed preppy, and yes. So the blind date stories actually will tell you a lot about us. It was July 4th, and it was an Atlanta Braves baseball game, And the next morning, like she said, she had moved back to be with her mom. The next morning over breakfast, Laura told her mother that she was going to marry me. So after one date,
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Totally serious.
And
Now,
then
Jay, did you say anything about this to her?
no. In fact, I didn't think she enjoyed the date because I didn't even get a kiss goodnight. You know, it was like first date for crying. Anyway, so over the next 10 days in Atlanta, Georgia, at the time, 2 million people lived there. She managed for her path and my path to cross 8 of the next 10 days. I didn't know it then. We have a word for that now. It's called stalking.
Yes, yeah.
But 10 days
Did
after
you cover that in the book, by the way?
One of the books.
One of our books we do.
Yeah. So 10 days after our blind date, on July 14th, I actually asked her to marry me.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Does this pandemic change some of your examples? I mean, it's a whole new world.
Oh, it depends on, I guess, some of the ones that we've said, go take a bike ride and go to an ice cream store. I guess it would tend to be where you live. Are you in a state that's shut down? Here in Michigan, we can go to restaurants 25%
Yeah,
full.
Michigan has a Democrat governor, right?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
a wacky government.
Well, it's beyond that. It's beyond wacky. It's way beyond wacky.
Isn't it a female?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. She goes out partying, but she says everybody must stay home.
Yep.
Yep.
Her husband goes out in his boat.
Yep.
Nobody can use their boat. That's
Right.
illegal. And then they see her husband on his boat. Just
Do what I say, not as I do.
consistency.
Right.
So, but I would say most of the dates can still be done even in the midst of the pandemic. Some of them that have to do with, like we did I think there's one in there, a progressive dinner where you go have appetizers one place, your entree at another, and dessert at another. Again, that would depend on the state that you live in. Right now, we could do that here in Michigan. Might just have to wait in a long line to get in.
Yeah. These dating sites, do you discuss those?
We don't. We have nothing against the dating sites for single people that are looking for a mate.
Did you see the new one? They got dating for white privileged only.
No,
I haven't heard of that
I
one.
have not heard of that one. We know a number of people that met on a dating site and have really got successful marriages. So
Really?
Yep.
Because they have Christian sites. Have you ever seen those?
Yep.
And they have black couple sites.
Yep.
They have farmer sites.
Really?
Sites for farmers. Maybe that's just here in Michigan because we have a lot of farmers here. But
yeah.
So what do you have in this book that just kind of jumps out at you since you compiled the whole thing?
For me, the most interesting part, because this was Jay's idea when we started writing the book, he said, I think we should find scripture to go with every date. I'm like, seriously? You think we're going to be able to find a scripture to go with every date? And we did. I mean, it was appropriate, it wasn't just a scripture we threw out there. It was appropriate for the theme of the date. So
Yeah, they are. I read them. They are.
I was very like, wow, scripture really does go with anything and everything. It can apply to every part of your life, including your dating life. And so for me, that was what jumped out at me, that that actually worked.
So I'll answer the question in a roundabout way. We were doing an ultimate date night in Ohio, and this elderly gentleman, he came up to us afterward.
My age?
Honestly, he was an octogenarian. Yep. And
I think he said he was 88.
He was 88. He came up to you. 88.
That's in my family.
There you go. He said, Jay, what you need to let these young people know is what you did to get your spouse is what you need to do to keep your spouse. And everyone dated, early in our relationship, that's what we did. We went on dates. We couldn't wait to go on dates and be with our. And so what jumps out to me in this book is how profound a simple thing like dating, the profound impact it can have on your marriage.
Yep.
It's just like one of the dates we have is called Get Away and Get Ahead. And we actually propose it being an overnight date that or even if it's take the kids to grandma's and just be at home by yourself at night.
Yeah.
Because it's just little things like that that create memories. And, we've been married 36 years and, so we're on the other side of 50 and memories are huge. in keeping your love alive.
Yeah.
Remember this. Let's think about doing that again. Let's go to,
You even have empty nest advice.
Yes, because that's where we are. We're empty nesters.
So did you have to rethink?
no. And I'll tell you why. When we stood at the altar, we said this: forsaking all others, I thee wed. And that forsaking all others includes your kids.
Yeah.
This relationship comes first. The most important thing you can do for your kids is to stay passionately in love with your spouse, so that they see that their home is stable. They see mom and dad love each other. They see that mom and dad are on the same page. So discipline becomes so much better. And the thing that will also happen is when you become empty nesters, you will actually look forward to becoming an empty nester because you're still best friends.
Yeah. I just read something recently, we're talking about witnessing to people, and it said, I see you more than I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing
Yep.
more than they hear us.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're doing it right and you start speaking, they will listen.
Yep.
We have about 2 minutes. Laura, I'm going to have you
Okay.
give a opportunity for somebody to trust Christ that are watching. We don't know who that is.
Okay. Through prayer or just
Witness, and then you can pray for them.
okay.
2
You know-
minutes. 2 minutes.
I know. I'm like 2 minutes. That's a short amount of time to tell somebody about Jesus. But yes, if you are listening or watching and you have not trusted your life to Jesus, I would implore you to do so, especially in these times where life is so uncertain and there seems to be no hope. I heard a podcast about emotional exhaustion. We are so emotionally exhausted. I can't imagine living my life without my relationship with Jesus Christ.
Amen. Could you pray for them right now? We have about a minute.
Absolutely. Dear Father in heaven, we just ask right now that if there's someone listening that doesn't know you, Lord, that you would prick their heart, Lord, that they would say, you know what, I do want to know about the grace and the hope that Jesus Christ provides. And Lord, I just ask that they would pray and ask you into their heart. And Lord, that you would meet them where they're at.
Amen.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Wow, this has been fun. I thought it was going to be boring. Just kidding.
With the weird book we wrote, you thought we'd be boring.
I know. We're going to have your website and all of the information about you and everything. They can even get a hold of you if they want you for speaking
Yep.
engagements or
They can do all that through our website.
marriage seminars. Do you do those?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we do whole weekends at churches, that kind of
Wow.
stuff.
But this is it's unique, and you will believe me soon as you open it up, and you'll go, really? So that's what got my attention. Why I would want to interview you, and it's been better than I ever imagined. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. You are loved. Bye-bye.
Thank you.